Senator Enoch.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, from the onset, I am in support of the motion, but I also want to advance or progress the argument put forward by Senator Mugatana, my neighbor from Tana River. To speak on the matter of this President's address to Parliament, it is not a matter of just ticking boxes. You realize I'm the Speaker, and I want to educate the Senator for Kakamega, the majority whip, so that he may stop thinking about sufurias and put his mind on more important things like the address of the President. It is a very, very important thing because Senator Khalwale and the House, when you look at Article 132 that Senator Eddie is making reference to, the functions of the President, you realize that in fact the first function of the President is to address Parliament. It is a serious thing. It is not a small matter, Mr. Speaker. And I think that draws from Chapter 1 of the Constitution on sovereignty of the people, which says the sovereign power under this Constitution is delegated to the following state organs, which shall perform their functions in accordance with this Constitution. And the first state organ there is Parliament. The Speaker, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that the President's address to Parliament is not a matter that we are just going to limit to 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 3 days. It is a matter that we need to take a little bit more seriously. And how would we do this? The Speaker, in this session, in this year, because the President will address Parliament in this year, we must find a way of getting the President to sit in Parliament at the time of giving the speech and during the time of debate on his speech. The Speaker, because we are a bicameral Parliament, and so we don't want the President to be shuttling between the Senate and the National Assembly, and because the address itself is being done jointly, then I will propose, Mr. Speaker, and the technical team should advise us on this. Why then can we have a situation where, as the President addresses the joint sitting of Parliament, he sits in that joint sitting for the 3 consecutive days to follow debate by both houses of Parliament? In which case, the Speaker, then we will begin to add value to governance. And the President will be getting information and advice from members of the National Assembly and members of the Senate one-on-one, without having to follow through newspapers or media reports. The Speaker, let us take Article 132 a lot more seriously on the functions of the President. Let's take the sovereignty of the people of Kenya a lot more seriously, because we are the people, we are the leaders that the people of Kenya have delegated the power and their sovereignty to on matters legislation. The Speaker, I support.
Senator Wakili Hillary.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity also to support the motion that has been laid down by the majority whip. And from the very onset, Mr. Speaker, what the Honorable Senator from Kitui told this House with regards to the provision of the Constitution, Article 1 and Article 132 is very important to the extent that this power is donated to the organ of the presidency, and that is the main reason why address to Parliament by the President is important at the beginning of every elected Parliament and once every year. That underscores the importance of that particular address. And that address, Mr. Speaker, is so sacrosanct to this House and to the people of Kenya who donated the power to the government of the day. When my friend Senator Eddie talks about 2 minutes, he's trivializing that speech. He's trivializing the importance of that debate, because it is not about those who will support or those who will go against. It is an opportunity that gives this House to debate on the speech, because that speech talks about the promises made, what has been done, what has been achieved, and what has not been achieved, including the plans which are ahead for purposes of delivering to the people of Kenya. And therefore, when the House decides to debate, it is about supporting and criticizing the speech that the President at any given time when he's supposed to address the House is made. And therefore, the duration which is given is also objective. It doesn't make sense, therefore, to say we just spare 2 minutes of that time. The Honorable Senator Okech once given an opportunity. In fact, the 2 minutes is not sufficient for him to do the preliminaries before he criticizes, if any, such a speech whenever the President addresses. And therefore, when we debate, let us debate so that we achieve the mandate of the House by criticizing where necessary and enhancing very objective debate on the speech of the President at any given time that he addresses the House. I equally want to also support the proposition that where possible, and if it means amending the relevant provisions of the law, it would be very key and important where the President sits through the sessions when that speech is being debated by the Houses. It will not only give the Parliament an opportunity to have a conversation, it will give us as members of this House also an opportunity to look to whatever debate that we are going to do. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, I support the motion and I rest.
Senator Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to support this motion. Mr. Speaker, Article 132, which gives the President an opportunity to appear in the House and give a national address, goes on in its sub-article 2, sub-article 1.3, that report in address